Have you seen Thor anywhere? Thor, where are you? Thor, Thor. I don't know where he's gone. Where's Thor? Salute humans, hello, how are you? My name is, and this is my world of stuff. This is the end of the week video, which I will be doing as and when I have enough to show you, of my physical media purchases during the previous week, whether it be DVDs, books, Blu-rays, 4Ks, anything physical and media-ish that you might be interested in. And this week's haul includes this bunch here, don't look, including these two packages which are still in their bags, not opened, although they are. I did open them this morning, but I thought I'll keep them in case I do an unboxing video, and here I am doing an unboxing video. Now, at the beginning of this little video, I was putting out a plaintive cry for help looking for Thor. I don't know where he is. I really can't find him. The reason is, amongst my purchases this week, you might recall that I have been tracking down, courtesy of Zavi, who are doing a nice little sale at the moment of 4K Marvel titles. I've been collecting some of the early titles on 4K, and last week I had a couple in the post. I had Captain America the Winter Soldier. You might remember the previous video I had the first Captain America. I've already got Civil War, so I've got the set now, so I had this one, and in the same postal delivery came Thor in another packet, and I opened it and looked at it and oohed and ummed and ahed at it and looked at the slips case and thought, oh, this is nice, and promptly lost it. I have no idea where it is. I sometimes wonder if I've got too many of these damn things because they're everywhere. It hasn't fallen behind something, it hasn't fallen down something. Don't think I've thrown it out. Anyway, I can't find Thor. So if you happen to see a Norse god swinging a hammer, flying by, looking lost, send him back in my direction because he belongs here. I hope he'll turn up because I feel a bit lost without me Thor. Anyway. Apologies for the scruff look, by the way. Quite lazy boy. These are the two things which came today, so I shall open them up and show them to you. And there are more Marvel 4Ks. The 4K sale on Zavi is ongoing, $14.99, and it's quite a bargain. So here we have Avengers Assemble, Joss Whedon's wonderful realisation of everything Marvel have been doing up to that point. Of course, still a brilliant film. I don't care what you say about Joss Whedon, this is still a great piece of superhero cinema. Again, it comes in a very tasty slip case. I will, in fact, open it up because I know people like to look inside these things when people buy them. So I shall take off this pesky cellophane wrapping as quickly as I can, and it's surprisingly quick. I remember sitting in the cinema watching this film and thinking, wow, I cannot believe that these films exist. They are such beautiful things, and I love the cover. It's so colourful, and it just says everything about what this film is and what Marvel had achieved by this point. You open it up and there you have the Blu-ray disc and the nice illustration on the actual 4K. So that will take sort of pride of place, because even now, as much as I love Infinity War and Endgame, this is still a real punch the air sort of film. So I was very pleased to receive that today. And in the other package we have Thor the Dark World. I only pulled that face because the first Thor has gone AWOL, so like I say, if you see him fly around, you know, I've got his hammer here, so we can't go far. This is Thor the Dark World. Now, a lot of people don't rate this film. They think it's the weakest of the Thor. Oh, for God's sake. They think it's the weakest of the Thor films. Of course, they're wrong. That's Ragnarok, which is tiresome. This is actually very underrated and very good. Maybe I'm a bit biased for this because I was lucky enough to go down to a press screening for this when I was doing a lot of stuff for Starburst, and I went to the press launch in Claridge's or some fancy hotel where all the cast were on stage. And I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a nice romping sort of superhero film, appropriate levels of humour, and even though there's a horse and cart going by, you think I live in the Wild West. Even though Christopher Eccleston's Malekith isn't the strongest villain in the Marvel canon, I still think it's a good and spectacular film, and it's one which I'm quite happy to watch again when I start my next Marvel run through. Again, we'll take off this pesky cellophane and have a look at the glorious contents. Again, I think it's a really nice cover. You didn't hear that. Again, you've got your Thor there, you've got your Jane Foster, you've got your Loki, and Anthony Hopkins as Odin. And open up again, you've got the Blu Rays. The both discs have got sort of artwork, photographic things. They're both very nice. I just wish I could find Thor. Don't know where he's gone. Anyway, you probably heard a lot of banging and crashing. That was me waving my arms around and knocking things on the floor. It's all very realistic, isn't it? So anyway, there's The Winter Soldier, which also came earlier in the week. I picked up a few other bits and pieces on my travels this week. I ended up in Swansea yesterday for various reasons. I had a little look around the shops, not been there for quite a while. And of course I popped into the sex shop, CEX, where I picked up a few odds and sods. Picked up this one, Moon. This is, I'm trying to resist saying it's by David Bowie's son Duncan Jones, but it is. It's David Bowie's son Duncan Jones' directorial debut. This dates back to 2009. Really good film. He's done a couple of films since then, Duncan Jones, but he hasn't really fulfilled the potential that he showed with this film, so I'm hoping that there's some good stuff coming from him at some point. This is a nice sort of old school sort of space paranoia film. Sam Rockwell is this astronaut on this base on the moon, appears to be on his own, and it's having a peculiar effect on him. It's a really good psychological study on 250,000 miles from home. The hardest thing to face is yourself. This was, I think, £1.50, so it was irresistible. Also from CEX, a couple more pickups. This is a terrific film. If you've never seen it, this is Kevin Bacon in Cop Car. This came out a few years back, and it's directed by John Watts, and Marvel was so impressed by his work on this film. They've wheeled him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where he's directed the last two Spider-Man films, and indeed the upcoming No Way Home. This is a very taut thriller, about an hour and a half long, doesn't outstay its welcome, where your man Kevin plays a cop who's got a car, and he leaves it unattended for a little while and draws the attention of a couple of young scamps, 8-9-year-old boys, who jump in and drive it off. But they don't realise that young Kevin here isn't quite what he seems, and in the back of the car there has been a dead body, and there's now a stash of weapons, and they get themselves into all sorts of scrapes, and young Kevin here is quite keen to get his car back. It's a really good edge of the seat sort of thriller with great performances from the kids, and nice to see Kevin Bacon back in a really good film. I don't think it got much of a release in the UK, and I have seen it online, so I was really pleased to pick this up for, I think it was about £1, so that was a very nice pickup. This is a more recent film that I've not seen. I tried to watch it a couple of months ago, or a few weeks ago even, when it was online. Couldn't get into it. Maybe I was in the wrong mood, wasn't in the wrong frame of mind at the time. But it's a recent film. It's called Possessor, and it stars the excellent Angela Riseborough. A game-changing sci-fi thriller from the visionary mind of director Brandon Cronenberg, son of. Using brain implant technology, corporate assassin Tassia Voss, Angela Riseborough, takes control of other people's bodies to execute high-profile targets. A bit like Joe 90, if you remember your Jerry Anderson. She sinks into her latest assignment, and Voss becomes trapped inside a mind that threatens to obliterate her. As I said, I watched the first few minutes of this online and couldn't really get into it. Thought I will go back to it. This was a 5 yesterday. Bearing in mind, it's not long come out. I think it's the uncut. Yeah, it's the uncut version. It's just one of those sort of slimline Blu-rays that get these days. I quite like the black edge cover. I say CX. It looks unwatched. Basically, there's not a scratch or a mark on it, and it's always a bit of a lottery when you pick up from CX. You just don't get to see the discs till you get home. But I tend to only get them if they're on the shelf and in pretty good condition. That sort of suggests that the discs are okay too. So I was pretty pleased to get that one. Steptoe and Son going past again. Another one from CX. This I think was £1.50 or £1. Classic sort of horror from 2012. This is again, Joss Whedon wrote the script of this, directed by Drew Goddard. A really nice sort of twist on the cabin in the woods horror cliche, and some of it riffs on bits of sort of Buffy type mythology of something strange going on underneath this cabin, some sort of strange conspiracy. It stars your man Chris Hemsworth, your Thor, and various other people who I don't really recognise at the moment, but it's good film. It's good fun, and I haven't seen this for a while. I'm pleased to pick this up on Blu-ray for, like I said, £1.50, and in very good nick as well. So that's my CEX collections from yesterday. Two odd collections from, again, in Swansea yesterday. I popped into Poundland there, which was closing down. It was the last day yesterday. It was 90% off everything. Now, as we know, Poundland usually have a range of DVDs, Blu-rays, £2 for Blu-rays, £1 for DVDs. And although, oh, look at my hair. Even though the range is a bit boring, they don't update very often, I thought there might be a few scraps left, and there were, very little. But I did pick up, sealed and unopened, Silver Linings Playbook. This is the, as it says, winner, BAFTA, Oscar, Golden Globes, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence. This goes back to 2000 and something. Anyway, again, this is another one funny enough. I did own this a while back, and again tried to watch it, and it's not my cup of tea. But again, wrong frame of mind. We'll try it again. This was £1 originally. This was 10p yesterday because it was 90p off everything. As you can see, it's sealed, unused. 10p. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So 10p. And then another one. This is sort of a bit. I quite like Al Murray, the pub landlord. You'd have seen him on TV in various comedy shows and panel shows, and used to have his own comedy series, a sitcom, Time Gentlemen Please, on Sky One, which I thought was really funny. This is a live show. It goes back to, it's quite an old show, it's 2010. Again, it was 10p, sealed. I do like me comedy DVDs. Nice to have a collection of comedy, some of the old classic comedy heroes of mine, and I quite like Al Murray. So for 10p, I thought, yeah, why not? This is one I got from Amazon. I think this was £9, something like that. I'm thinking maybe £9. In Bruges. This is a great film from a few years ago, which you might well have seen. I can wish a good idea. I says 2019, that's clearly not right. I can't remember when the film came out, but I got this on DVD. Really good, funny thriller, sort of comedy thriller, starring Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and Ralph Fiennes. It's got a nice new sort of moody cover, a nice black Blu-ray case. I think it's the same edition as the previous one with the behind the scenes stuff, but nice to have it in Blu-ray, and it was, as I say, reasonably cheap. I think it was £9, it might have been £6.99, but I think it was probably about £9. I buy so much of these bloody things I can't remember what they cost. That's your physical media. A couple of other things I want to show you. You might remember that I showed you in the last one. I still got them nearby. These two 1985 Justice League comics, 2003-2004, only to discover that it was actually a 3-part story. So obviously I did what any boy would do, and I went on YouTube and I picked up issue 2005, which is the 3rd part of the 3-part story. So I don't like to leave these things off. It was only, I think it was 150. So I'm sort of building up a collection of old classic comics again. I'm sort of attracted to the comics, even though I don't sort of go to them to read straight away. I just, like I say, it's that reconnecting with my youth type thing, which I'm sort of obsessed with at the moment. To wit, although this isn't from my youth, this, I mean, if you're a comics fan, you need to get over to Zavvi, because they're always doing good sales. At the moment, they got a 4 for $20 on graphic novels. I picked this one up last week because it looked big and chunky. It's a classic Daredevil, a Man Without Fear, of course. And this is a big old chunky. It's hard to tell how many pages there are, but it's a big old thing. It goes back to Daredevil issues 22 to 36 and Indestructible Hulk to 10. Of course, that's not the original. It's the Marvel sort of one of the many reboots, but it's a big old, long, colourful superhero thing. As I said before, I'm not big on modern superhero stuff. I find the art a little bit, too try hard, when I prefer the slight innocence of earlier sort of comics. This apparently retails at $39.99 if you were to go into your Forbidden Planet or other comic shop. Currently for sale on Zavvi, if you're interested, $4.99. I've got the free postage thing because I know I buy a lot of stuff from Zavvi, so I pay, I think, a $9.99 a month, a year fee, and get all my postage free. So this came for the posting, a nice big chunky package for £4.99. And at that price, I quite like Daredevil historically. I remember reading Daredevil and quite enjoying it, and I thought it might be quite fun. And it looks, the art doesn't look quite as off-putting as many. You've got the Silver Surfer there turning up, so I probably will have a read of that at some point. Say £4.99 on Zavi, you can't go wrong. And the final thing for this episode is a Doctor Who related magazine. I've seen this advertised before, and it's supposed to be a very good magazine. It's more related to Doctor Who comics and books, so it's not so much the TV series, it's a sort of spin-off stuff. It's a big fan magazine called Warp of Warp. This is an issue volume number 3, which I'm not sure the date it came out, but it's a big, I mean, this is how fan magazines are these days. You know, I used to be involved in fan magazines back in the 70s and 80s, and they weren't like this. This is a big old chunky volume, full colour, with articles about comics and magazines and, you know, all sorts of stuff to do with Doctor Who magazines and comics. And I started to like the old Doctor Who comics. There's always something interesting to read. This, however, has got the addition of a new DVD. I think the magazine itself maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. It's a free CD, The Mechanical Planet, which features David Graham as the voice of the Daleks. He did the voices of the Daleks on early TV serials, and this is an adaptation of one of the comic strips from TV21 that was recorded in 2016. So I think this magazine's about 3 or 4 years old, and I've seen it online for about 20 quid, and I thought, nah, maybe not. And I picked it up for about £7.99 from eBay last week, so I'm pretty pleased with that because it looks pretty pristine. I haven't started reading it yet, but that's going to be fun to read. So those are my physical media pickups for this week. This is something I quite enjoy doing, and if you enjoy watching them, let me know in the comments down below here. Like, subscribe, damn it, go on. And I will do these every week if I get enough bits and pieces. Obviously, if I only get a tax bill or something, then I'm not going to bother. But if I buy a few odds and sods, and I do tend to buy quite a bit of stuff, then I will come and display my wares. Oh, misses for you. Yeah, so that's it for this video. There is more stuff coming, honestly, more interesting stuff. There's some reviews coming. I've got the second part of my Doctor Who rankings finally coming, as I think I might have mentioned. I've got to re-record that because it seemed to have lost the original video file for the second half that I did. It's disappeared somewhere in cyberspace, so I'll re-record that on the bank holiday weekend and get that up as soon as possible, because I know a few people seem to be interested. I will also make sure my hair looks a bit better next time, because I look like some sort of vagrant. Empty bags, let's go out. Yeah, so don't forget, my 1550 is still going strong. I'm on video 38 or something at the moment, and I've got 48 subscribers, so I'm looking to get to 50 by the time I get to 50. So as long as I've got 50 subscribers at video 50, I will pick out the name of a new subscriber, and this is somebody who is new and has left a comment somewhere on any of these videos between 1 and 50, just a comment of any sort, and I will randomly pick out a name, and that person will win prize or prizes up to the value of £50 to celebrate my 50 videos and 50 subscribers. If I get to 50 videos in the next 2 or 3 videos, I'm still going to wait till I get to 50, because I don't want to run the risk of people subscribing just to get a prize and then not unsubscribing. So I want to get up to 50 as soon as possible, but by the time I get to 50 videos, it would be nice to have more than 50 subscribers, and you will win a lovely prize. But you've got to be in it to win it. So like, subscribe, and if you've got a month's time, you could win something very nice indeed. Anyway, that's enough for now. I'm off out of here. Enjoy the rest of the bank holiday weekend. I'll see you soon, but until then, keep watching and taking. I'll get the hang of this camera stuff eventually. Keep taking the stuff.